Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime Making 3. And today I'm going to be giving you part 2 of what if Naruto had the most powerful Sharingan. Remember to get this one to 100 like as usual, share this all to your friends in your social media platform, and also guys, I posted a brand new episode of What If Naruto Was a Perfect Experiment on this channel, so go ahead and enjoy that right below this guys. And over in Making 2, I post a brand new episode of What If Naruto at his strongest was sent to an alternate timeline. So go ahead and check out that and enjoy guys. And over in Anime King, I post a brand new episode of What If Naruto was the God of Shadows, so go ahead and enjoy that guys. And if you're new, yes, you heard that correctly. You have not mistaken, I indeed have 3 channels. Anime King, Anime King 2, Anime King 3, which I post what if on every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family, and thank you for all of your help and support. Remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new. I'll be planning talking back to all of you, so yeah. Without further ado, what is to begin this new episode? Start the intro. So the last time we left off, a small child, which we later found out that he was an 11-year-old Itachi, was sitting by a tombstone, as there was a name on it, Emiko. It was his aunt, as he really missed her a lot. Afterwards, Itachi made his way towards his uncle, as his uncle was Naruto. As Naruto was an Uchiha, his hair was dark red, to the point where it looked like black. You had to put it under a light to notice that it was red. As Itachi saw that his uncle was cooking, his uncle was wonderful at cooking, and he was gonna stay over here, despite not telling his mother though. But he was sure that his mother would come over here, that was the whole deal. He wanted them to talk, as things had been getting a bit strained lately. His mother came by with a smaller Sasuke, as she asked him if Itachi was there. He let Sasuke in as Mikoto decided to stay over as well, as Fukaku was having a meeting with the other Uchihas. A meeting that Naruto should really go to, but he was not going to. So they sat down, as Mikoto made several comments about him not showing up for her birthday party. Even though he had left the present, he still was not there, and she was upset about that, as he was isolating himself. A lot happened to make him change from the Naruto that she knew into something completely different. He did a lot of things to ruin many things, but he just wanted to be left alone. But she was his sister, and she was not gonna allow that to happen. As much as they did not get along in the past, she realized now that they were older that he needed her, so she was going to be there for him. Once that was done, Itachi and Sasuke had fallen asleep, as she attacked Naruto, but he evaded her so easily. Once, the lightning flashed outside as the power cut off for a second, as both of their Sharingan activated. As Naruto was a lot different from hers, his Sharingan was the opposite color of what it should be. He was special, as he was not a normal Uchiha by any sense. There was a reason because of that, but it was not revealed yet. As she ended up punching him though, while he allowed her to, she was a bit more calm after that. He told her he had a mission, as she ended up taking his room and sleeping there for the night. She would be gone by tomorrow, but Naruto made his way, as there was a drug dealer who wanted to spread a drug called X in the Land of Fire, as his mission was to make sure that did not happen. As when he was spotted, things went chaotic, as this man was a part of the Yakuza, a powerful drug organization, but Naruto was able to completely eradicate all of his forces and enter, place the man under genjutsu as he died without even noticing, as he killed the other one there. When he got back to Konoha, the fourth Hokage Minato Mikaze was there, as Minato was now with Kushina after Naruto had dated her in the past, but because of what happened with Emiko and several other things, well, they broke up, and it was Naruto's fault. But he didn't seem to be caring. Judging from the way he talked to Mikoto, he didn't seem to care about anything nowadays. as Minato wanted him to take some time off. It wasn't that Minato hated him, but they never really got along. But Kushina had pleaded him to make Naruto take some time off. Even after how much they went through and how much she suffered, she still cared about him. But Minato was a good guy, and he was trying to make Naruto take some time off, but at first, he wanted Naruto to be as far away from Deals as possible because he didn't want him to come between him and Kushina when they were just getting together. As Naruto feigned ignorance like he didn't know what he was all about, as he simply left afterwards after giving Minato the scroll. As Naruto was making his way, several thoughts flashed through his head as he heard someone call his name as he turned and groaned. Why her? So yeah guys, that's basically as we left off. You guys can switch across the place, check it out for yourself. So yeah, what is we getting this new episode? We start this new episode off in the past. A 14-year-old Uncle Midarashi was currently making her way to training ground 14. She's been doing her research and spying on the area for 1 hour of each day he comes here and he eat his lunch. This was her perfect opportunity as she was gonna speak to Naruto Uchiha. She needed his help. As she made her way, she took to the trees. As she arrived, Training Ground 14 was a calm, relaxing place where most people practice their kunas and shuriken testing, seeing that there were 3 massive posts that had gouge marks in them from kunas and shurikens hitting them. As Uncle finally arrived as the trees surround the place, she looked down in the clearing and there he was. He was sitting on top of one of the posts. He wasn't eating, he was just sitting there. His hair was dark, but if the light hit it perfectly you would see that it was actually dark crimson. His eyes were closed. As Uncle took this as the best opportunity to introduce herself, as she jumped down. He did not react or move, but she knew that he knew she was here. After all, he was Naruto Uchiha, one of the most dangerous ninjas within Konoha. As she made her way, she stopped right in front of him, but he refused to open his eyes, as his head was resting in his palm. She glanced and noticed that his lunch was beside him. He hadn't ate anything yet. As she watched him for a moment or two before, she realized that he wouldn't say anything, so she decided to take the initiative. "Hello there," she said. "My name is Uncle Midarashi." As the wind blew, he said absolutely nothing. "And I'm here to offer you a proposal. You are to train me to become one of the strongest kunoichi in the entire elemental nation, and then, when I am, I'll give you some of the credit as my sensei. So, how about it?" she asks. A rather brave and stupid offer to give someone who she barely knew, but she was desperate. It was then that he finally cracked open an eye. Despite looking directly at her, it seems like he was looking through her. She watched as he turned on the post. As he turned his back to her, like she wasn't even there. "Hey," she said as she ran to the other side, but he turned so quickly. As she frowned, she decided to kick the post, but when she looked up he was no longer there. She looked around confused. What the hell? She glanced over where his lunch once was. It was gone as well. Uncle looked around as she turned and shot forward, quickly making her way as she found him, walking through the forest. "Hey," she said as she jumped down in front of him. "Didn't you hear my proposal?" she asked. "Go away, kid," he said to her. "Come on, it's a really nice offer. Why don't you just think about it?" As he simply brushed past her like she wasn't even there. Uncle, being headstrong and furious, pulled out a couple of shurikens. "I guess I'll just have to show you what I'm made of," as she tossed them. They were coming so close to him, her eyes widened. Perhaps he was not prepared. She didn't want to kill one of the strongest men, but what he did next surprised her. He had a pebble in his hand as he threw it. It bounced off the tree with such force that it ricocheted and knocked the first shuriken into the second one, and the second one knocked away the third one. As the third one landed right in his palm, he threw it as it sliced her cheek and embedded into the tree behind her. Instead of getting scared off though, Uncle beamed with excitement as she rushed over. "That was awesome!" she shouted as she landed right in front of him again. And she didn't even bother to wipe the small trickle of blood away from her cheek. Come on, you'll be my perfect sensei, and I will become the strongest kunoichi for you to take, well, I'll give you 50% of the credit. She watched as he raised the eyebrow and she thought that he was thinking it over. It was then that she realized his eyes flashed red. The next thing she knew, her world started to spin as she fell unconscious. As Naruto simply walked away. Time skip. Uncle woke up. What the hell happened? As she rubbed her head. The last thing she remembered was talking to that guy and then, bam! Damn it, he was an Uchiha. Figures, she thought to herself. He put her in the genjutsu. Uncle got her feet shakily. This was her last option. And now she had no more. She slammed her fist in a nearby tree as her knuckle bled, but she did not care about that. Some time ago, Orochimaru had taken her and put this damn mark on her. The team that she was supposed to be on moved on. The Hokage, not even Jiraiya-sama, knew how to remove this damn mark on her, and now she became an outcast, a monster of the village. People think that she was working with Orochimaru, and she only came back to spy for him. Orochimaru had kidnapped a lot of babies. A lot of the villagers gave her these nasty glares. Some of them even going as far as trying to attack her every now and then, saying that she was in on it with him. But she always managed to evade them though. She never got proper training. Orochimaru didn't train her that much. He was always giving her theories and things to study, even though she learned a few things from him. It wasn't enough to protect herself and become the strongest as she wanted to become. She had heard about Naruto Uchiha. Him and Minato Mikaze was the driving force of ending the Third Great Shinobi War. She had heard some rumors that he was in some sort of massacre, but she wasn't sure what that was. She wasn't here after all, she was taken. In all the chaos and war and everything, Orochimaru took her and several other students. She was the only one to survive, so people doubt her motives. She sighed and she made her way back home, which was a tower in the forest of death, seeing that her apartment had been vandalized. As she decided to get away from the public eye, as she was making her way back, arriving towards the tower, she heard movement as she turned. Looking around, she saw that there was no one there. As she continued to calmly walk, until a kunai whipped past her face and embedded into the tree. She pulled her own kunai out as she spun around, as several figures landed in front of her. She could not see their faces, they were wearing masks. As one of them raised a shuriken in her direction as he tossed it, she ducked as it embedded into the tree. "Who the hell are you people?" she asks. "You don't deserve to be in this village," one of them says. He stepped forward. "You are working with Orochimaru, aren't you?" "I'm not," she said. Figures you would say that, after all, you don't want to blow your cover. The Hokage might have been nice to you, allowing you to stay in this village, but we will not. You work for that monster who took babies, children, and for that, we will get rid of you. Think of it as a civil duty," one of them said. Uncle gritted her teeth. "Well then, just try it," she said as her brash attitude came out. "I'll beat all of you down to the ground." Despite her brash, loud attitude, it only took a few seconds as she was on the ground, in pain and agony. There was just too much of them. She had managed to slice a few of them, but not enough to cause them any lasting damage. She spat. "Is that all you got?" she said. She figured she was gonna go out. She was gonna go out in a blaze of glory. As the man in front of her chuckled, as he raised his kunai. "Now to get rid of you," he says. He brought it down, but it was knocked out of his hand, confusing him as he snapped around. As the remaining four looked behind him, what the hell? They did not see anything. The one to the left turned as he felt a cold sensation creeped up his spine as he looked around, but the place was pitch black. He looked up as he couldn't even see the moon. Just what the hell was going on? As Uncle blinked several times, but she could not even see her own hands. She then heard screaming, agonizing screaming. The leader of the group also spun around as he moved back, kunai to his chest, looking around frantically, but he couldn't see a damn thing. Slowly, the darkness started to creep away, as all of his four friends were on the ground, groaning in pain, their legs, arms broken. At least they were not dead. The man started to back away slowly. "Who's there?" he said, until he bumped into something as he spun around. His elbow was grabbed as it was twisted and broke. He cried in pain before his throat was grabbed as his head was broken through the tree, knocking him out cold. He was then thrown away like a piece of trash. Uncle glanced up, but the beating finally took its toll as she fell unconscious. When Uncle woke up, she was in her tower as she looked around frantically. As she felt a cold night air, she realized the window was open and someone was sitting there. "Hey!" As she tried to get up, but she winks in pain. "Take it easy." As Uncle looked down, her wounds were bandaged up. "You saved me," she said. "Most people would look the other way." "Orochimaru, he experimented on you." The voice of Naruto came. "Yeah, I guess you would know about that. That mark on your neck. Aren't the Funjutsu masters able to remove it?" "Apparently not," she said. "This is a twisted mark made by that snake freak, and no one really knows how to remove it. Guess I'm stuck with it. There's a binding seal over it. Yeah, Jiraiya-sama put it on it, so that it wouldn't affect me in the slightest. But I guess the ninjas of this village won't believe that." "Don't worry, those lots won't bother you again." "Why did you come back? I thought you didn't care." "You remind me of someone." "Who?" "Me, when I was younger." "It's good to see that again. So, did you think of my offer?" "It won't be easy. If I train you, I will put you in hell and bring you back." As Uncle picked herself up, wincing in pain, as he glanced towards her. "I've been put through hell already. Nothing wrong with going a second time. So I'm in. As long as you help me to become stronger." "So what first?" she asks. "For now you rest," said Naruto. Uncle did not care as a beaming smile came on her face. She was going to be trained by one of the best. Back to the present time as Naruto found himself in Training Ground 14. Uncle was the one to call out to him, but he had evaded her and made his way toward Training Ground 14. He had trained her back then, and turned her into someone that most people decided not to mess with. And with his training, her attitude became worse. It wasn't that she was cocky, it was just that she was loud. And also she liked to curse and did some sadistic things. She had changed her goal, as she wanted to become the head of the torture and interrogation department. The reason being, Naruto took her out of the village. She was a genin, yes, but she was not in a team. He was not authorized to do so, but who really was gonna stop him? So he had took her out of the village and brought her on several dangerous missions. He knew that he could protect her out there. As Uncle had saw him do some sadistic things to the enemies to get information, breaking their mind, fracturing and putting back together with his Sharingan. And it was amazing, as she enjoyed hearing their screams, as she was working her way to become a part of the IT department. At the moment though, she was currently at tuning, as she would not stop until she reached there. "You know, if I didn't know any better, I would say that you're avoiding me," said Uncle, as she landed beside him. "Who says I'm not? Come on, you can't avoid me. You know you love me," she said to him, as she gave him one of those beaming smiles. "What are you doing here? Don't you have a mission to take part in?" "Well, I saw you coming from the Hokage's office, and I saw that you were kind of angry." He raised an eyebrow. "You can tell when I'm angry. Yeah, it's in the way that you walk. Mostly you walk cool and calm, but when you're angry, there's this shift in your step. I can tell. After all, I've been around you long enough," Uncle said, as she looked towards the man that helped her a lot. If it wasn't for him, she would still be weak. Because of him, she was a lot stronger now, as she was aiming to become one of the special jonins for torture and interrogation. Silly her had a crush on him ever since he started training her, but he made it really clear that she was a child on several occasions. So she decided just to be his friend because she realized, because of a certain incident that she had read upon, he decided to just block out most people, as she had read upon what he had done at the war. Even for her it was a bit gruesome, but he had lost his sister and his closest friend, and he was affected badly, As most say that he went crazy, he annihilated so much. As many people across the elemental nation were afraid of him. Whenever they heard that he was on the battlefield, well, they ran. He was the main driving force while the war ended. Him and the current fourth Hokage, Minato Namikaze. But she believed that it was mostly Naruto's effort. After all, Minato might be famous for his Harashin, but Naruto was a being. He was just different, awesome, cool, not to mention hot. There was no wondering why she fell for him. But he just saw her as a child as she poked at that. Well, to her he was a child. So tell me, what happened? The Hokage think that it's in my best effort to take some time off. Really? Said Uncle, as Naruto nodded. That's cool, she said, as he raised an eyebrow. Well, not for you, but for me. I mean, I hardly see you nowadays because you're always on dangerous missions, and you don't allow me to come on those anymore. Why not? You did take me on dangerous mission when I was a genin. I know I'm a chunin, so why not? I got into a lot of trouble because of you, said Naruto. But it's not like you care about people, or what they think of you. I mean, you got into so much trouble you simply shrugged it off. So why not bring me on some dangerous missions? You're carving your own path, said Naruto. You should not rely on me so much. She pouted at that. Come on, I'm still in the shop for a mentor. But know that you're gonna be here for a while. We can catch up. After all, it's been a long time since I saw you, she said. Most time when I come by, Itachi told me that you're not there. I think that you're trying to just get rid of me or something like that. Or you, she asks. Now why would I do that? Because you don't like people that much, Uncle said. And why do you say that? Well, it's plain as day. Now that I got you right here, how about a spar? I bet I can go past 20 seconds this time. As Naruto looked towards her. The last time we did this, you did not pass 20 seconds. What makes you think there's a difference? Well, considering I've been busting my ass and not to mention preparing for this the moment I saw you again. Yeah, perhaps this time I'll kick your ass. What, you afraid? As he chuckled. She only got him to laugh a couple times. Whenever she heard it, it made her felt nice. It was so smooth and calm. He slowly got to his feet. Alright then, Uncle, he said. Come at me, with everything that you got. Uncle smirked. You're gonna wish. You never said that. She pulled a kuna and tossed it towards him. As he reached out and caught it, she threw another one as he caught it. She smirked. Right in my trap, she said as she tossed an explosive note to the ground. As it exploded, forcing him to leap up in the air, Uncle burst out of the smoke, sending Joshua's snakes wrapped around his body and encircled him as they opened their mouth. As they had venoms, it wouldn't kill him, but it would just sedate him for a while, to show him that she had finally put him down. But the snakes refused to bite him. She was confused. What the hell is going on? As she commanded them to bite him, but they were not. They were just standing there refusing. Uncle. His voice came out calm, but it was like she was hearing it inside of her ear. Why would the snakes bite their own master? Uncle blinked several times as he realized she couldn't move. As she looked down to see her snakes had wrapped her up. And the reason why they wouldn't bite because she was commanding them to bite herself. Huh? As she looked up towards him as he was still sitting on that damn training post. Didn't he move? How did this? As she struggled to get out. She relented and pulled back her snakes. What did you do? I told you several times. When fighting someone in the Sharingan, do not make eye contact with them. That was your first mistake. Damn it. Jackass, she said. You just watch, one of these days. You're gonna be begging for mercy. As he smiled at her. So, how long are you gonna be here, she asked. I mean your time off. Around 2 weeks. Cool, she said. Well, I have a lot to do, but I'll be back. Same place as usual, same time, right? As he simply shrugged. She ran off. I'll see you later, she said. She made her way. As Naruto sat there. It was then someone landed in front of him. Naruto-sama. It was the Uchiha. You've been summoned by Fukaku-sama. The Uchiha said to him. As Naruto raised an eyebrow. Meanwhile, at a local tea shop within Konoha, two people were sitting down. Two very attractive female. One with crimson red hair, the other one with black hair. These two people were Mikoto Uchiha and Kushina Uzumaki, as both women were laughing as they were talking and having fun with their little tea drinking as they placed down their mugs. As Mikoto asked her friend a question. So, know that things are stable between you and Minato. What are you thinking about in the baby department? Don't you think it's a bit soon? Asked Kushina. I mean, we've only been together for a few months now. It's almost been a year, said Mikoto. Yeah, you're right about that. And you do know how much I love kids after all. Itachi and Sasuke is so adorable, said Kushina, and I would love to have one of my own. As a sad look then flashed across her eyes. Don't do this to yourself, said Mikoto. What are you talking about? You're thinking about him, aren't you? Who? You know who, my brother. Look, I want you to be happy. That is the reason why I'm talking to you and telling you about this. Minato is a nice guy, and I want you to be happy. It doesn't look it, but Naruto also wants you to be happy as well. Can't you see that he's backing off? Yeah, everyone's happy, but not him. As Mikoto sighed, even after everything, you still care for him, don't you? Someone cannot just forget about their first love that easily. Have you told Minato this? She shook her head, but I think he suspects something. It's not like I would leave him and go to Naruto like that. I mean, he hurt me. Yes, he did, said Mikoto. You're my best friend and I don't want to see you hurt. But he's also my brother. And he's been through a lot. And he's hurting as well, but he wants to be left alone. You need to grant him that. You keep on saying him. You lost Emiko as well. Yeah, I did. But we were never that close as she and Naruto was. But still, she was my sister. And it pains me that she is not here anymore. But she's not the only one that Naruto lost, said Kushina. Yeah, she's not, said Mikoto. Have you talked to him recently? Yeah. But you know him as usual, he's dodging my questions. Yeah, that stupid quirk of his. To always change the topic into something else. Sometimes he does that you don't even know that he's doing it, she said, with a faint smile on her face. She shook her head. About my party that I'm keeping for my birthday celebration. You'll be there, right? Why even ask me that question, said Mikoto. You know of course I'll be there. But you won't know if he will be there. Look, he didn't even bother to come to mine. He left a gift though, but he didn't bother to show up. So I wouldn't put your hopes up. Yeah, I guess you're right, she said. Hey, about the whole baby thing. Does it hurt? As Mikoto started to laugh. Hey, what's so funny? I'm asking a genuine question here. As Mikoto simply laughed. Meanwhile, as Naruto met up with Fukaku, the man looked at him as he saw that empty look in Naruto's eyes once again. Ever since what happened, it was like nothing was there. But Naruto was a part of his main council. Given his heritage, Naruto was not a normal Uchiha by any means. His father, Kagami Uchiha, was the former leader of the Uchiha clan. So in all right, Naruto should be the leader. The Uchiha clan had never had a female leader before. His big sister Emiko could not take up the leadership, nor could Mikoto. But there was a reason why Emiko or Naruto could not take the leadership. For one thing, Emiko had fell in love with someone outside the clan. And because of clan politics, there were some restrictions. But she was willing to step aside and be with the one that she loved. Her father, Kagami, was angry about this. And he told her if she walked out, that she was never to return. Emiko did step out of the clan, as the Uchiha was never to be sheer outside the clan, so the elders were furious. But they could not touch her because, well, she had the backing of Mikoto, who was with Fukaku at the moment. Even though he was not a part of the clan head, his father was a part of the council as well. And not to mention her brother, Naruto would massacre everyone, even his own father, then let anyone touch her. So nothing happened to her, even though she went against the clan code. But still, she could not become the leader because she was a woman. That was just how the things were set. And Naruto wasn't exactly full Uchiha. He was half Uzumaki. Judging by the crimson hair, which was almost dark. If you did not look at it with a lamp, you wouldn't see the crimson at all. Kagami had had 2 daughters, and with Emiko being the oldest, she was going to be married off, so that a male could take up the position as leader of the clan. But she refused, as she was already in love with someone. Mikoto on the other hand was more subdued to her father, as she followed certain rules and listened to her father. Soon after their mother had died, away from the village on a mission, Kagami had had relations with an Uzumaki woman. Before the clan was wiped out, that woman got pregnant. A huge spackle between the Uchihas and the Uzumakis happened. But they were able to sort things out, now that there was a bond between the clans. But they weren't going to become close or anything like that. They were too fickle in their ways. The Uzumakis never really got along that well with the Uchihas, neither vice versa. But if Naruto had awakened his Sharingan, he would become an Uchiha, as they wanted the dojo to stay within their clan. There was a lot of talks and all backlash, but things changed when there was the destruction of the Uzumaki clan, and Naruto was brought here permanently to live. But he could not become clan head because he was not full Uchiha, as stated in the laws. Yes, there was a lot of laws when it comes to the Uchihas. So with that being a block, him or Emiko could not become clan head, even though it was their rightful place. So Mikoto got married to Fukaku, who took the position. But over the years, the clan and the council saw Naruto potential, and the Uchiha respect something, if more than anything else, and that was power and strength, and him rising through the ranks and becoming one of the most powerful Uchihas. Placed that there, even though he was not clan head, he had more support and more respect than almost everyone in the clan because of his power. But since he lost Emiko and his best friend, well, he stopped caring about much things because he blamed himself for everything. Fukaku refocused back on Naruto. "Why weren't you at the meeting last night?" he asked. "I was busy," said Naruto. "You are a part of this clan, god damn it," said Fukaku. "It has been months, and you have not shown up for a single meeting. What are you trying to say?" Fukaku asked. As Naruto looked him dead in the eyes, "Perhaps I don't want to be a part of your meetings." "So, are you trying to say that you don't want to be a part of the clan?" Fukaku asked, as he was getting irritated by Naruto's attitude, this uncaringness, this giving up. He didn't like it, as he needed his counsel behind him, and not to mention Naruto pull because of his influence. He needed that behind him. The Uchihas were in a bad fickle with village right now. Things were not looking too good. Even with Minato as Hokage, well, there were things that not even him could fix between the Uchihas and the assistants. That is why they were currently having this meeting. That man, Danzo Shimura, was trying everything to drive them out. "What do you want from me?" said Naruto. "A council meeting has been called with the village leaders, and I need you there. Can't you handle this yourself?" "I can. But you're part of this clan and it's about time that you prove it." As Naruto looked at him, as he did not blink, he just looked at him. His look kind of unnerved Fukaku, but he then finally shrugged. As Naruto walked off, Fukaku following beside him. "Now, don't do anything stupid." "What's that supposed to mean?" said Naruto. Most times you jump the gun. I want you to just listen. Things are changing, Naruto, and I need your help to stop them. Besides me, you're the only other Uchiha that has more influence, not just within Konoha but across the Elemental Nation. And you doing this and not being a part of this whole decision making is making it a lot harder for the entire clan. Tell me, do you think Emiko would stand by and let this happen to the clan? We both know that your sister loved the Uchiha through and through, and yet you're letting it down." As Fukaku noticed Naruto's gaze on him the moment he said Emiko, but he kept a stern face. If this doesn't get sorted out, I'm afraid that we'll have to take more drastic measures. But Naruto still did not respond, as he just went quiet. The group finally made their way, as he arrived towards the council chambers. Many people were shocked as Naruto entered. They thought it would just be Fukaku alone, as many of the clan heads were in there. Fukaku went to sit down at a seat, as Minato was surprised to see Naruto here, but he did not say anything. Hiruzen was amongst the advisors, sitting where Danzo was, as he was a part of the advisory council. Danzo, Homura, Koharu, the other clan heads were there. As Danzo spoke up, "I did not know that we were bringing guards," he said, his eyes focused on Naruto. "I'm not a guard," said Naruto. "Then why are you here? This meeting is for clan heads." "Naruto is a big part of the clan, and him being here is necessary," said Fukaku. "He's a part of my council." As Danzo decided to shrug that off, as he turned his gaze towards the Hokage. "Can we begin now?" he asks. "Yes. Concerned that you're the one that called this meeting, why don't you go ahead and speak?" "Well, you all know about the complaints from the villagers regarding the Uchihas. I'm sure that you can testify about this, Hokage-sama." A regretful look came on Minato's face. "Danzo is correct. I've been receiving a lot of complaints lately. Triple the size of the last time. That Uchihas has been using unnecessary force on the villagers. Hokage-sama, with all due respect, I've never seen one of these people before," said Fukaku. "It's always the reports. I've never actually seen a person saying this out of their mouth directly. How do we know that these are not just created?" said Fukaku. "And who do you think would do something like that?" said Minato. "There's a lot of people within this village that doesn't really like how the Uchihas act. That doesn't really like our ways, how we do things. So I'm sure that you can find a list of people that will willingly bring forward this kind of claims on us." "I'm sure that we can solve this all out," said Hiruzen. "After all we need is to just change a couple of things. There's no need to push anything too far." "I'm afraid we cannot," said Danzo as he pulled out several folders and he placed them on the table, as he showed several photos and documents as he spread them around. The Uchihas has been abusing their power as a police force to cause unnecessary damage. As one of these folders ended up on Fukaku's table as he looked at it, he's never seen these things before. As he glanced towards Danzo with a calm face, Danzo then pulled out a map. "This can all be sorted out as long as we calm the populace to know that the Uchihas are not a threat to them." "And how do you intend we do so?" asked Fukaku as he looked towards the man. Fukaku was just hoping for the betterment of his clan, as he didn't want to start something that would lead to the downfall of him, or perhaps Konoha, because Uchihas has always been loyal no matter what. It's quite simple. We can rearrange the system a bit. As he spread the map on the table, getting few and few Uchihas in the village will cause the populace to calm down and them to realize that they're not in any kind of danger. As the other clan heads look it over as they realize, everyone realized what is the map really saying. "You intend for me to follow this? This would isolate us and push us farther out of the village than before. A strategy similar to this has been created by the second Hokage, so I'm just following the predecessor leadership," said Danzo. "And this is the best solution right now to make sure that nothing escalates too far out of control." "You mean by exiling us out of the village? That is the best thing to do," said Fukaku. "Danzo, this is going a bit too far, Hokage-sama. If this is not stopped right now, I'm afraid we'll have a revolt in our hands, and they're mostly gonna contain with the Uchihas. After all, the villagers will not stand this for too longer. But pushing them out of the village, how is that fair?" said Tatsumi. "She's right," said Choja. "Pushing them so far to the village would just show that we're not helping our fellow clan." "And they're right," said Minato, raising his voice. "Konoha works and help with the betterment of each clan. Doing this would just cause problem. But if this does not happen soon, if we do not lessen the Uchiha population within the village. I'm afraid that things would go beyond the point of no return. I agree with Danzo, Kaharu said. The recent reports have been getting piled up too much, and the Uchihas has not been restraining themselves. And if this continue, I've been hearing talks and murmurs about people would start to fight back, and having the Uchihas and civilians fight together is not a good thing that we want for anyone. So Danzo's option is a right one. As Harrison sent his old teammate a glare, he always hated the Uchihas, and now he was trying to get rid of them completely by pushing them out like they were some kind of monsters. As people started to talk, enough! As everyone went quiet, turned their head on who spoke. As it was Naruto. Harrison looked over towards Naruto. He knew him since he was a child. As Harrison knew that Naruto had a lot to deal with lately. He has been going through a lot. Danzo snapped his gaze on Naruto. Who gives you the right to raise your voice here? Remember, you're just here to be quiet, said Naruto. Danzo looked affronted by that. In actuality, he looked pissed off. As Naruto looked down towards the map on the table, Fukaku sighed, as he told Naruto not to do anything excessive. As Naruto pointed where the Uchihas were, and then he dragged his finger where Danzo wanted him to be. He then pulled the kunai out as he circled, tearing the map, Konoha, as the circle lined up perfectly. With this new statement, the Uchihas will be pushed out of the village entirely into the backwaters. You're trying to exile us, old man, said Naruto. It is the only way to ensure what? Peace? Stability? The last thing I recall is that the Uchihas were part of this peace and stability. After all, aren't we a part of the police force? Aren't we the ones that keep the city safe, the people stable, and deal with the criminals within Konoha? And yet, you want to exile us for no apparent reason than a few complaints. And if these people got detained or hurt by the Uchihas, they deserved it. Asarum was surprised that he said that. As violent as my brethren are, they won't just go around causing unnecessary crimes. Arrogant they are. Prideful they are. But knowing to do something to hurt the clan, they will not. So these complaints are just that, complaints. But yet you want to take it a step further and push us out of the village. Every single person here knows that you never liked the Uchihas, so you're finally making your move. I wouldn't say I never liked the Uchiha, said Danzo. This is just a matter that has to be, solved? By pushing us out of the village. You won't know what that solves, said Naruto. Let me tell you exactly what's gonna happen, and I want you to listen to me closely. Most people will die in this village. Naruto, say Minato, what are you saying? I'm telling you the truth, Hokage-sama. If this happened, the Uchihas will only come to resent and hate everyone here. After all, what have we done but protect and serve this village, giving our life, our dreams, our future, dying, perishing on the battlefield, and yet you want to push us out after we've done so much. As Naruto's eyes flash, his Sharingan subconsciously activating as he glared at Danzo. After all of that, you want to push us out. After all we've given for the village. I see that your hatred of the Uchiha goes so deep that you're willing to ostracize innocent people for no apparent reason. And if those two over there argue with you, it's because they're following the same mentality that you have. So let me tell you something. If this happens, you're going to bring a war. A civil war, to be exact. The room was tense as he said those words. And what do you mean by that, said Inoichi, as he kept an eye on his friend. At least he still hoped that they were friends. You can only push a man so much until he snaps. And pushing us, until we break is something that you don't want. Are you saying that you're willing to take up arms against this village? Not this village, you, said Naruto, as he looked directly at Danzo, and anyone else that tried to go along with this stupid law. We haven't done nothing. We've protected and served this village. We gave our damn life! And yet you want to push us out. For what reason? Well, there is none. Just your hatred of us. So, that is exactly what's gonna happen. As I said, you can only push a man so far until he breaks. And pushing us to our breaking point is something that you won't want to see. Right now everything is calm and stable. Why not leave it that way? Why not ensure the peace by allowing someone to monitor the Uchihas, to show that there is no overusage of power, to show that we are still serving and protecting Konoha instead of driving us out of this village. But it's up to you, said Naruto as he turned his head towards Minato. Listen to those complaints and follow that man over there. Or choose the second option. As the clan heads all looked towards Minato, who made up his mind. Naruto is right. Everything is stable right now. These people that have been making their complaints will be investigated. And I will find out what is truly going on. You can rest assured and believe that. Danzo, we are not going ahead with this plan of yours. This is just too much. The Uchihas will not be pushed out of the village. They are a main part of this village. And they bring stability and calm with the police force. As many others agreed with this, Danzo kept himself calm. As Naruto said nothing as he simply looked at the man. A few more talks in the meeting came to an end. As Naruto and Fukaku was making their way. You know, that almost backfired in your face. When you start speaking, I was pissed off. Because you almost ruined everything by going up against that man. As conniving as he is, he will find a way to do things that threaten the peace that we currently have. You're the clan head, Fukaku. It's up to you to make sure that this doesn't happen. And you're right, Kimiko wouldn't want anything to happen to Uchihas. And not to mention, she died for this goddamn village. So, I will not just stand idly by and watch anyone push us back. So you better step things up, showing weakness in front of those people, especially that man. Will have him attack you like a snake. As Fukaku watched Naruto, seems like you're not totally removing yourself from the clan at all. Who said I even was, said Naruto. Next time though, come to the meeting and listen to what we have to say before you go speaking like that, because what you just said almost backfired in the worst way possible. But for now things are calm, so I'm going to let this slide. But I expect you to be at the next meeting. As Naruto turned away and started to walk, Naruto, I expect you to be at the next meeting, said Fukaku. But Naruto did not answer him as he simply walked away, leaving Fukaku there. As Naruto was walking, hey, Naruto's the voice as he turned. As he saw Tatsumi caught up with him. Tatsumi, how are you doing, he asked. Oh, quite well, she said. Quite the show in there, proving to that Danzo that you're the alpha. You and your lingo always amuse me, said Naruto. Hey, me and a few others are gonna get something to drink. Want tag along? Oh, sorry, she said. I made it sound like a question. You're coming, even if I had to tie you up and drag you there myself. It's been too long since you've been out drinking with us. You know you can't force me, right? Yeah, it's gonna be hard to. But I'm sure that all of us, perhaps coming together can. As Naruto glanced over to see the others. Are you sure that this is not an attempt for Inuichi to strap me in a chair and probe my mind to see if I'm okay? Oh, he's learning his lesson from the last time that happened, so that won't be happening again. Come on, we're friends, right? So how about you come and drink with us? It's been a long time, she said to him. For old time's sake, after all, the past was fun, wasn't it? You know what? What the hell? Yeah, said Naruto. I'll come have a drink with you. As he gave her a smile. No, that's Naruto I remember, she said, as she turned towards others and nodded. As Naruto paused, he looked behind him. What's wrong, she said. Nothing. As he turned back and started to walk with her, a distance away, as Naruto had felt something on the edge of his senses. He was being watched, yes he was. As he was a man slowly disappearing in a swirling vortex as he was gone, leaving the village. A distance away, I don't want to. But you were invited. So was I, come on. It's gonna be fun, said Mikoto. But I don't want to stay Kushina. I just want to go home, I'm tired. Well, you're coming with me. After all, you used to love these kind of things. What about Itachi and Sasuke? My kids are just fine. They're currently at a sleepover with Shisui and Izumi, and they're being watched by perfectly capable adults. So come on, it's been a long while since everyone fully caught up. Kushina paused. Everyone, she asks. Meanwhile, a distance away from the village, an unknown location. Did you talk to him? A strange creature in the darkness asked as he spoke to the masked man. No. But the opportunity will soon show itself. After everything that he's been through and everything that he's done, I'm sure he will jump at the opportunity to help me. After all, I will reunite him in a perfect world with the ones that he loves, and he will be with the one that he loves. What will happen when he knows that one of his targets is a woman that he was once in love with? Said the creature to the masked man. In my perfect world, Kushina Uzumaki can still be there, and they can be together with a family. Minato won't have to be in the way, and he will have his sister as well, and one of his closest friends. Once the opportunity presents itself, I will speak to him, and he will understand that joining me is the only best way to ensure peace in this corrupted world that needs to change. But guys, be and subscribe right here. If you want to see the next person do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification to be posted. Remember, share to all of your friends in your social media platform. And also, guys, go ahead and check out the rest of what is coming your way over in the making and the making 2. If you're new, yes, I did have 3 channels, and making 2 and making 3, which I post every single day for you guys to enjoy. But for now, I'm out of here. See you guys soon. Peace.